Here we are. Here we are.
Punted those doors open.
Saloon doors are open.
Absolutely kicked it open. And it's time for another episode of the bi-weekly Fast Five.
Yeah.
Bi-weekly? No, semi-monthly would be once every 2 months.
Yeah.
So it's bi-weekly is the only way to refer to it.
Bi-weekly, from what I remember, it actually means every other week or twice a week. Like it's one of...
Really?
Yeah, it has a dual meaning.
Wouldn't that be duo-weekly? Do-weekly?
Do-weekly.
Dukely?
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 Dookie.
Dookie. All right, so welcome to the Dookie episode of the Fast Five.
Yeah.
Oh, boy.
You thrown off already?
We're not good at grammar or things or much of anything.
It's just...
Fast five. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 5, 4, 3, 2.
Let's just get right into this then. We're typically pretty bad at just getting right to the point.
I'll say this. Right now, if you didn't play that music, it would have been 18 minutes of Google searching about Dookie.
Oh, the 1993 Green Day album.
Where'd Dookie come from? Whoever thought I'd call it a Dookie? Ah, click, 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 click.
All right, first on my list for the Fast Five, the Dropkick Murphys.
You better not tell me anything happened to them.
No, dude.
Oh my God.
You don't know about the big thing that they did last week?
No, and I can't wait to hear about it. On the turnaround.
All right, next. Tommy Touchdown. Touchdown Tommy. Tom Brady. Tom Brady going to... TB's going to TB.
TB12 to TB, baby. There's a lot going on in the NFL free agency as a whole, Steve. I can't wait to get to it. So many signings that technically can't be announced because nobody can give a physical. But leave it to the NFL to consume the sports news cycle when they realize a vacuum has been created.
Something else I just noticed is that I only have 4 on my list for the Fast Five.
So you've got so much time to think of a fifth.
If you could,
you want me to take over? Do you want me to break down Tom Brady?
No, what I want you to do is for my next one, I want you to don't be restrained. Don't feel restrained by time.
Well, I wish you would have let me do that here on Tom Brady, but you're kind of now my palms are sweaty waiting to hear the next
spaghetti.
one. All right, what's the next one? I'm going to have to filibuster.
You know something? Never mind. I have all my 5.
Well, there goes my time to shine.
We'll talk more about your time to shine
on the turnaround.
All right, next, self-distancing. Now, I don't mean the actual practice of it. I mean the term self-distancing.
Self-distancing or social distancing?
Social distancing.
Yeah. That'll be at the end of the year. That'll be the Merriam-Webster Word of the Year,
Word
right?
Of the year, yeah.
Or whatever. There's no question.
I hate the term.
I'm tired of it.
Not to be confused with me hating the practice.
You heard it here first, folks. Steve refuses to accept, acknowledge, and live by the rules of social distancing.
No,
you and I are holding hands. We have yet to discuss that.
Again, to be clear, we are social distancing. We are doing this very responsibly. There is plenty of room in between us. There are Lysol wipes, hand sanitizer. We're good.
The flu's worse. Who cares?
I just hate the fact that, something, we'll talk more about that on the turnaround. Next, the Cuomos.
Is this the Cuomos Rudy Giuliani 9/11 moment?
First of all, I never knew that they were related. Never had any idea
Chris and Andrew?
that Chris from CNN was related to Andrew.
Are they not brothers?
They are brothers.
They are brothers.
They
I
are
thought
brothers.
they were okay. Wow.
But they're like 13 years apart. Andrew is about I think he's 62 and
Chris is in his 50s
is
or
49.
40s. Okay.
Yeah. But their whole thing about who mom likes better and
I didn't see any of that.
Oh, it's very stupid.
Well, right now Andrew Cuomo right now is again, that's why I referenced the Rudy Giuliani post 9/11 where everybody looked to him and thought about how good he did in terms of leadership. Mm-hmm. Andrew Cuomo right now is getting that type of moment in the sun for the state of New York, whether it be on social media or in his press conferences. People are really seeming to enjoy what Andrew Cuomo is doing.
And finally, number 5, the roaster, Kenny Rogers.
Oh, man.
We eulogized him a couple days ago in our episode. R.I.P.
You and I had a quick discussion. So you think it's hands down The Gambler is his top song?
I do. Man. I mean, I
can
be convinced otherwise. I love Coward of the County. Now, did he have like a huge library of hits?
I would argue he had 4 to 5 uber hits.
Okay.
You have Coward of the County, you have The Gambler, you have The Greatest, you have Through the Years, which
Through the Years, yeah.
top to bottom is a pretty impressive top 4.
Uh-huh.
But after
as we discussed, the chicken franchise, Kenny Rogers Roasters,
right?
Like he died worth $250 million.
$250 million for, I mean, and again, it's not fair to say, 4 hits. Oh, got him $250 million.
You know something? If I'm Kenny Rogers and I have $250 million in the bank, you can say I have no hits. I don't care.
Yeah, absolutely. I don't. Oh, Buy Me a Rose. That was a very popular song.
I don't know if I knew that one.
You want me to play it through my phone and the microphone? Is that good audio?
Yeah, it's great. Yeah.
Hang on. Here it comes.
All right, you got to stop it now for copyright reasons.
And that's it.
Okay.
So
yes.
Now everybody knows what we're talking about. It's Buy Me a Rose.
All right. R.I.P. Kenny Rogers. Before that, the Cuomos. They had Chris Cuomo interviewed Andrew Cuomo. Yeah, he had him on, and it turned into them basically talking about like, Mom liked you more. No, she didn't.
One's a governor, one's a talking head. I mean, we all know who came out ahead there.
The talking head.
Probably makes more money.
No, I bet he makes hand over fist. He makes probably 10 times as much money as his brother.
Yeah, no question. So in terms of but power wise, like Andrew could say, "Hey, you can't broadcast from New York anymore for giggles." And then
can he do that?
Oh yeah, it's a governorship order. It's different than an executive order.
All right, before that we had social distancing, not the practice, simply the term. I hate the term. I hate the fact that we had to come up with a term to just say, hey, keep your distance from people during this time. It's not necessary. Right. Everything doesn't need a hashtag or a fancy catchphrase.
Yeah, so at what point do we start the argument over who said it first?
Oh, I'm sure that there's
going to be some competing parties,
it has been like trademarked.
Right.
Somebody will take responsibility for it.
Yeah.
Before that, Tommy Touchdown. Touchdown Tommy.
Yeah.
TB12 going to TB, but maybe not 12. Oh, boy.
Yeah.
Somebody on the Buccaneers already has that number.
Now, these are high-stakes negotiations. Tom Brady, a lot of money between him and his wife. Do you throw a lot of coin to that, too? I believe it's Chris Godwin who has that number.
What's that number worth? Because I understand that in this situation, it's worth a lot more to Tom Brady,
right?
Because he's got his TB12 brand.
Yep, he has a brand around his number.
So if I'm dude that's already got that number 12, the price just went up because it's obviously worth a lot to him.
Somebody posted that $1 million a digit,
$2 million,
12.
Oh, $1 million. I thought you meant
no. I'm sorry. For
two digits.
No, that makes sense. Okay. 12 million. I mean, you'd $500,000. Like, would Tom Brady cut a $5 million check today to get the number 12?
Well, I mean, that he could.
Oh, there's no question he could.
Let's see, what is he worth?
Oh boy,
Tom Brady. Okay,
would he get alimony because his wife is worth
his wife
more?
Is worth so much more than him. Okay, what is Tom Brady worth? Go ahead, make a guess. This is from.
Based on career earnings.
I'm going to go to Celebrity Net Worth because that one, there are a bunch of different ones, but that's usually the standard go-to.
200 million is my guess.
Close. 180.
Okay, so 180, and I would guess Giselle is probably worth closer to $500 million based on all of her.
Let's see. What is Giselle Bündchen worth? Yeah, she's got him by a bit. More than double. $400 million.
Whoa!
Yeah.
Man.
Yeah, he would get alimony, right?
He would get alimony. He would get a check cut to him if they got divorced.
Yeah. All right, wow. So how much are you thinking that number is worth?
I think he'll have to cut a $2 million check.
Because he could probably do it and then write it off as a business expense, right?
Right. Yeah, or maybe they do it as I'll donate to a charity of your choice type of thing.
I would hope that would be something that he would do. But yeah, if I'm the dude that's already got number 12,
Chris Godwin's counting the dollar bills.
Yeah, because he's a good player too. From what I read, he had a great season last year.
Oh, Chris
And-
Godwin's fantastic.
Yeah.
He's shaping up to be a top 10 wide receiver in the NFL right now.
I had never heard of him, but yeah, if that's the case, pay up, man.
Said Friday that he'll defer the number to Brady if he wants it. If Brady's willing to switch, however, Godwin will keep 12. I mean, at the end of the day, it's like if Tom wants it, I kind of got to defer to that. He's the GOAT. He's so accomplished. He's got the brand. And, just me as a guy that's still trying to establish himself, out of respect, I got to defer that to him. But if you don't want it, then by all means, I'm going to keep it. Boy, you gave up all your leverage there, guy.
Yeah, you sure did.
What
you need to do is be like, we haven't had a conversation about it yet. Maybe, Tom, give me a call.
His wife wrote on Instagram, Godwin and Brady are, quote, still figuring things out. There's a financial discussion going on around that because, that's a missed opportunity. And I'm not saying you have to, extort the guy and say you need millions and millions. But you know what? Hey, the number means something to Tom, and it should mean something to you. And
why do they
get what you can?
I mean, if you think about it, why does any player why do they even
attached?
Why do they need numbers anymore anyway?
I know.
Couldn't you just I can understand back in the day when the only way to watch a game was if you were at a game.
Right.
There wasn't, it wasn't all televised with super HD, but now it's like the way that you watch it on TV,
sure.
You know who everyone is. You could just stick their names on the back of their jerseys with no number and that would work.
Yep.
Why do you need a number?
Yeah, you don't.
Why can't you do 3 digits? Why do refs get to have 3 digits?
Yeah, that is weird, right?
I want to be number 999.
It is such an old-timey thing, it feels like. But, we're talking about baseball and other sports who just, they're never going to adapt.
Yeah.
Why would they? So.
And the first one on my list of the Fast Five, the Dropkick Murphys. You didn't see anything about them?
About what they do.
Because they apparently...
I love them, by the way. I'm a huge fan. I saw them in concert a few years ago.
Every year they do a big St. Patty's Day concert in Boston.
Prototypical Boston Irish music band. These people are...
You've definitely heard... Shipping Up to Boston.
If you've seen The Departed, you've seen Shipping Up to Boston, or you've heard Shipping Up to Boston, and if you've explored their catalog, it doesn't differ much from that sound.
Like they got a bagpiper in the band and everything.
They got a song with our friend the Boss.
Yes, they do. Wait, what song? That's
Rose Colored. Oh boy, what is it? Rose something. Rose
Killarney Blarney.
Killarney Blarney, wow.
Killarney Blarney Stone Rose. They did so. Normally they would do
Rose Tattoo, Steve. That was Boston
Tattoo.
charity. They did that song with Bruce Springsteen for charity following the Boston marathon.
Oh, the marathon
bombing in 2013. Rose Tattoo.
So every year they do a show on St. Patrick's Day in Boston, but because everything has been shut down recently because of coronavirus, they couldn't do it. So their gig got canceled. So they did an online, Facebook live stream concert with no one in attendance, and it was awesome. I watched it for 15 or 20 minutes the other day, but there were, millions of people ended up watching it, and I think that's one of the coolest things to come out of. It sounds weird to say, but it's one of the coolest things to come out of this whole coronavirus scare is that so many musicians and celebrities are kind of stepping up and offering their performances for free or at least at a way super reduced cost by doing Facebook Live and something like that.
Which is cool. That's very cool.
So it was weird to watch them perform and then they get to the end of the song and it's
so weird.
Silent.
Yeah.
And they're like, thank you. I think.
To who?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
it's it's cool. I mean, they all seem great. They have a rabid fan base and I can't imagine performing. I mean, they're used to it. I mean, not used to it, but they're in a studio playing their music to nobody.
Sure.
But to put on the whole song and dance and the whole jumping around.
They're on a stage.
Yeah.
And there's lighting and everything, but there's just
be uncomfortable.
No one there. That and before that. Oh no, that was
it.
That was the last one. That was the absolute last one on my list. Now we will get to
Fast Five. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
A few differences, Steve. A few differences in my Fast Five. WrestleMania.
That seems like it's not going to be great.
Not only did they decide to hold it in an empty performance center.
Right, like their training facility, basically.
They announced this week it's going to be 2 nights. Hosted by Rob Gronkowski.
Oh, Gronk. Okay.
So I guess I shouldn't even say they doubled down. They tripled down. This is going to be so weird.
Boy, that's really calling your shot. Because you know that everybody's reaction is, oh, no crowd at the Performance Center instead of 100,000 fans.
Yeah.
So I'm sure everybody saw that and thought, well, that's going to suck. So I'm sure the WWE saw that and was like, no, we're going to double down. Not only is it going to be in the Performance Center, we're making it 2 nights.
Unreal.
And not enough for you? Gronk's going to be there.
I have no idea. It's so weird, especially a guy who, listen, he's a performer. He's terrible at it. I don't know if you've seen him on any of the Fox events. We watched him a few minutes on New Year's Eve.
Oh, terrible.
Horrific.
Yeah.
How is he going to play to just a camera, no fans, especially if he has to be involved in any of the physical action? Yeah. I don't know. I'll be there. I'm a wrestling fan, WrestleMania. I wish they would have just postponed it.
When is WrestleMania now?
It is April 4th and 5th, Steve. A few weeks away.
Should we finally do the WrestleMania watch party?
We could.
WrestleCast?
You willing to stay up until 10 or 11?
What night of the week is it?
Saturday and Sunday?
Yeah. Saturday, yeah, I'm in.
Night 1, Steve's there. Night 1, you, me, whoever else shows up. WrestleMania watch party.
Yeah.
And I don't mean whoever else shows up, meaning like listeners.
Come to your house.
I mean people I know who would watch wrestling with me.
Socially distanced?
Yep.
All right, I'm in.
Maybe. By then it might be over.
Sure, yeah, it's all going to be fixed.
Next up, Evangeline Lilly.
I don't know anything about it.
Kate from Lost. Are you familiar with her?
Yeah.
Okay, we'll talk about her on the turnaround. Next, Tom Brady, TB12, Tommy touchdown, Tommy.
Touchdown. Going to TB to TB. I don't know if you saw that.
I can't wait to get your thoughts on the contract layout, the structure, and what you think a 43-year-old passer can do in the NFC South on the turnaround. Start formulating your thoughts now. Next, the Roaster, Kenny Rogers.
R.I.P.
By the way, was that a nickname? Was he known as the Roaster?
I believe so.
Okay, because I know it's Kenny Rogers Roasters.
If not, my tattoo is just completely ridiculous.
And if not, I'm sorry, family, but we're trademarking that and stealing so much money.
R.I.P., man.
Yeah,
the coward 81. Of the county, the gambler.
Again, like I mentioned on the episode this week on Tuesday, I guess I shouldn't have been surprised he was 81.
That's not still super old, though.
But it's over the life expectancy. I think it's like 78. 81. I shouldn't have. I should have known that, but it's still like, whoa, yeah. I guess he has been around for a while. That's we haven't quite gotten to the rockers of that generation who seem to start. I mean, you're still looking at the Rolling Stones out there doing their thing, Aerosmith, all those bands still doing their thing. So, but Kenny Rogers, poor guy, sat on a stool for 45 years,
died doing what he loved.
He died before all those people who were abusing all types of drugs and alcohol. Mm-hmm. And lastly, Steve, the 2020 Olympics.
Are they tone deaf? Because they're still like full steam ahead, right?
This feels like the next shoe to drop.
It's got to be.
The Brazil committee is now urging Tokyo and the International Olympic Committee to postpone it a year. There's literally no downside to postponing this a year. Mm-hmm. There's no Olympics next year you're going to get in the way of.
Right.
As typical, these venues are pretty much only used for Olympics and then abandoned for decades until they're demolished.
Yeah. And if it's like any other Olympics, they probably still have a year of work to do to get ready for
it.
That they're trying to cram in to what was the one recently? Was it Sochi?
Sochi, yeah.
Like there was stuff that was to this day never finished.
Nope.
Like the Olympic Village, and there were they built, I guess, basically storefronts, or they built like
fake
a movie set essentially to make it look like it was done.
So they are still scheduled to go off, but between travel and everything, I don't think it'll be resolved by then. Sporting events themselves to qualify, I think it's July usually or August.
Okay.
But you have so many events right now in terms of qualifying to be on your team for the Olympics that they can't do.
Yeah.
So I think it's inevitable. I think we're looking at the 2021 Olympics in Tokyo. I think that's the next sports
It'll be,
shoe to drop.
Just do it. It'll be a quirky trivia question 20 years from now.
Right, and I think that's why we'll talk about it. But WrestleMania, I think they're kind of intrigued by having all of this footage from the empty arena WrestleMania. You know,
well, I mean, look, they'll still make a lot of money because a lot of people will buy it.
Yeah,
I would bet you'll have more people buy it than in years past.
Right. Before that, Kenny Rogers, we talked ad nauseum this week.
R.I.P. Died doing what he loved.
Oh, boy, you're still sticking to your guns.
Look.
So again, Steve, his love was being in hospice care.
Look, everything gets done for you.
Everybody likes, someone likes DIY. A lot of people like, cooking. Kenny Rogers enjoy being deathly ill in a bed with nurses pumping him full of morphine.
And chicken.
And
not pumping him full of chicken. He just loved chicken in addition to
roasted chicken. For that, Tom Brady, what's your expectations this year, Steve? The over-under, I believe, is around 4,300 passing yards. Where do you think the Tampa Bay Buccaneers finish in that? Not as competitive NFC South as it has been in recent years. You're pretty much looking up at the Saints with Drew Brees. Where does TB12 and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers fall in the NFC South and overall the NFC playoff picture?
Super Bowl. Winning the Super Bowl.
Before that, Evangeline Lilly.
You heard it here first, folks.
The Super Bowl for
Super
the Bucs.
Bowl.
A horrific prediction. Ugh. Not even gonna...
Somebody pull that audio, because I ain't doing it.
Oh, yeah. I'm not either. This thing won't be going on by then anyway.
No, not a chance.
There won't even be a football season.
Nope.
Before that,
I think that is a very good prediction.
Oh, I disagree.
You don't think it'll happen?
No, I think there will be a football season. NFL has been the only ones in this whole thing to try to hold as steadfast as possible against all better judgment by not delaying the start of the new league year. Still allowing free agency to go on, where a big part of free agency is travel to get physicals from the team doctors that obviously you can't do right now. I think it's going to go off. They'll figure out a way. The NFL.
I think that
there are billions of dollars at stake in terms of TV deals going.
Sure, well, there's $1 billion at stake for everything else too. I think 6 months from now we're going to look back onto where we were now and think to ourselves, how did we possibly think that there was going to be a football season?
You think 6 months from now it's going to be still as bad?
Yeah, I do.
Yeah, that's a bleak picture.
It is. Yeah, the articles I've read say be prepared for a year and a half.
Yeah, sorry, folks. Hope you didn't listen to us to be uplifted this morning. Yeesh, you heard it here.
Look, I'm just telling it like it is.
Unemployment, stock market crashes, food lines.
Oh yeah, we're all screwed. We're all back to square one.
Evangeline Lilly, Kate from Lost.
Yep.
Came out in the news this week, says she values her freedom and
I did see this.
Refusing to self-isolate.
Yeah.
Listen, she's not the only one, but she's a name who said it, so she's going to catch a lot of the ire. I can self-isolate after work, kind of. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean?
I'm essentially isolated at work.
Yeah.
I interact with 4 people.
Yeah.
So we're all kind of in the same boat.
And you guys already spend 4 hours a day just lobbing at each other.
Uh-huh.
So you guys have just been rubbing it all over faces.
Yeah, exactly. We're immune. We're immune to everything at this point.
You guys may have been patient 0, 1, 2, and 3, and 4.
Yeah.
So you guys may have
5.
been. Well, no, patient 0.
Oh, 0, 1,
would
2,
be
3.
the first form.
Why is that?
Why is it 0?
Why is there not patient?
Kind of disrespectful to the first patient, isn't it?
Right,
because you're calling them 0.
And there's no such thing as not a person.
Yeah, but that's dehumanizing. Maybe we bring that up to like the ACLU.
Yeah,
maybe we can get that changed to patient 1.
Yeah, I'm sure that
because that doesn't make the person feel bad.
So does that mean that everybody just gets bumped back 1? That's a lot of paperwork.
Boy, oh boy, this is the Y2K virus all over again.
Hopefully somebody can write a computer program to fix that.
For that WrestleMania, Steve, 2 nights, empty arena. You're in for a Saturday night watch party.
I think so.
I think we figure out a way to stream that here, my house, whatever we need to do. Let's make this thing happen.
That's on WWE Network?
Just on the network, man.
So I'm sure I can download. If you guys want to come over here, we'll hang out down here in the discussion den.
Wow.
Fire it up.
I might have a couple of comrades.
No, absolutely not. Okay. We're on lockdown.
except for us.
Right, yeah.
For WrestleMania.
Yeah.
Night 1.
Uh-huh. Just first night.
Yeah. What a welcome invite. Very reminiscent of the Halloween where I was able to hand out candy,
the
but the doors to the home were locked.
The invitation's always there.
And a warm welcome it is.
Breaking news. We did the Fast Five in under a half hour.
Yeah, we've done it a few times. I want to get it under 20. 2 weeks from now.
So we got to shave another 6 minutes off.
2 weeks from now, we're getting this thing under 20. Enough of the chit-chat and the guffawing and the ha-has and the yuck-yucks on both ends. We get down to brass tacks and we start cooking.
All right. Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, at Steve and Kyle. And we will talk to you next week. See ya.